Hey everybody, it's me. So I know my videos are everywhere, and when I make videos, it's sometimes I'm hoping to help other people. It's just me ranting, venting. Uh, it's kind of like a therapy to me. Um, so that's why my videos are literally everywhere. Cleaning, renting, or ranting, I can't even talk, venting, just talking about subjects that affect me and others. So this one is about, it doesn't have to be about, it's somebody in your life. It doesn't even have to be, it doesn't have to be your husband. It doesn't have to be your wife. Maybe it's your kids. Someone who lives in your household. When I met my husband, I was 19 years old. And at 19, it was different for me, you know. We all have a look that we like in our partner, or an age, or you like their smile, or you like, there's something that attracts us to that person. And I learned pretty early in life sometimes that you need to go for someone who doesn't fit that mold. And from the time I moved with him, I basically moved with him and was handed, here's your dustpan, here's your mop. And I thought that's what a wife was supposed to be. We were supposed to clean. I've never been a wife. I was 19 years old. I graduated high school. I worked. I still lived with my mom. I was 19. I wasn't taught that I was supposed to clean. I mean, yeah, clean your house, of course, but that I was supposed to do it by myself. And so that was my life. I cleaned, I cooked, my house was spotless by the time he got home. Dinner was on the table at 5. Like you see in movies, like you see in old movies especially. I didn't know anything else. So, I'm going to skip how horrible things were. Anyways, I was not raised that way at all. I was raised to be independent. I was raised to have my own life. I was raised to, if I want to do it, go do it. You don't ask your husband permission. You don't, and any of that. I love my upbringing. Don't get me wrong. I knew to clean, but I also knew that it wasn't just my job. A stay-at-home wife is not a maid. You are to stay home and be a wife. If that means cleaning to you, then great. A stay-at-home mom, again, I hear the word mom. I am there to be a mom and to care for my kids. There's food in my house. If they're old enough to cook, then there's food available. So I was raised differently than some people. Now, my husband, on the other hand, was raised not to do anything. His mom cleaned and cooked, never made her children do any of it. So he grew up thinking he wasn't supposed to do any of it. That he works outside the home and he comes home and watches TV or his phone and sits in a recliner all the time. and that he doesn't do anything because a woman will take care of it. Because that's how his mom did it. Now, I do understand people are raised differently. But I'm the wrong person for that. I was not raised that way. I was not raised to serve a man or a woman or whoever. I was raised that cleaning is 50-50, whether you work or not. You live here, you clean. Just like kids, you help make them, you take care of them. It's not up to one person. So, but that's what my life has been. It has been one person. And even my kids have always said that. I mean, people call me to say Happy Father's Day. I wasn't raised like that. That there's one person that takes care of your kids. That there was one person who cleans your whole house. You know, and when I say clean, I don't mean deep cleaning. Like if there's dishes soaking, you know, you can get out of your chair and you're in the kitchen anyway, so go ahead and wash them up. You know, you see towels that need to go upstairs, take them up. Things like that. I don't mean mopping and sweeping and scrubbing counters and all that. But if you see it needs done, do it. I was not raised. I think it's disgusting that somebody, man or woman, or even children, honestly, would not do housework. You see, towels need to be washed, so, wash them. Or if there's dirty towels, put them where they go. You don't bring things downstairs and leave them for someone else to take care of. If you have a stressful day at work, and you are a worker, I get it. We all have stressful days. I've been going through stressful last, 6 months that I wouldn't wish on my enemy. And I'm still doing house cleaning. I'm still doing things around my house. I'm still having meetings. I'm still dealing with people's problems in my household. Kids have problems. Adults have problems. I'm still there for each of them. I'm still going to appointments. I'm still having meetings. After meeting, I'm rearranging my house. I'm rearranging pantries and refrigerators and all that stuff. So, for someone to come home and say to me, well, I had a stressful day because I worked 10 hours or 15 hours, I get it. I mean, I really do. Especially if you drive for a job, you're a truck driver. But you know what? You have to drop your job at the door and come in and be responsible for a home. If you can't separate them, then you shouldn't have a home. I don't mind cleaning most of this house myself. But I do expect some help. I do expect some kids and husbands, or in other people's cases, wives, to do some things. Or it's never going to work. I had somebody tell me, for example, I had someone tell me just recently that they couldn't do the dishes because they don't get a day off and they wanted a day off. Well, they get actually at least 2 days a week off. And so they couldn't take down shower curtains so that I could wash them, for example. Or so the, person's wife, however you want to look at it, could wash them. And that would take no more than 5 minutes for someone to do. Especially when that person I mean, in my mind, especially since that person goes up into the bathroom, like we all take showers, right? So you're already in the bathroom and you can't take it down. You're already going upstairs, so you can't take towels upstairs and put them in the closet. That's because they had a stressful day or a stressful week. I'm sitting here fighting nursing homes, personally, to take my mom because nobody wants to take her because she apparently slapped someone. And I'm begging them to take her, and I'm crying daily. I have had depression my whole life, and so far, this is the worst I've ever dealt with. And, I'm not, and I don't use any of it, as an excuse not to do meetings. I don't use any of it, the stress that I'm going through and the hurt, to not do work around my house. But because that person had a bad day or had to go to a bad area for their job or had to work over, they can't wash some dishes. Yesterday, one of my friends reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to go grab some dinner?" It was a last minute thing. And I said yes. That sounded wonderful. Haven't really been, I don't get out of the house very much anymore. And that sounded amazing. So I said yes. But me being the person that I am, and I always try to think about other people. I try to put people first. And, sometimes that is not a good thing for me. I hurried up and made dinner, put it in the oven because I didn't want anyone to be hungry at my house. Now, did I have to make dinner? No. I never have to make dinner as long as there's food available for everybody. They can learn how to cook, and if they don't know how to cook, they can make sandwiches, right? But I didn't want anyone hungry, so I went and made dinner. So when my husband got home, all he had to do was watch it and take it out of the oven. He did that, and he ate it. I had left dishes soaking, for example, in the sink. I came home, and the dishes were still sitting there. Now, dishes don't take that long. Unless we had every dish dirty in the house, that would be different. 5-10 minutes at the most. I don't even think 10 minutes. Didn't touch one. I was not happy with it at all. I was very hurt and upset about it. Now, ask me if he cared. He doesn't care. Because he doesn't think of other people unless it's like he comes first. Meaning, if he orders something, then he might get you something. But that's only because he got himself one. Otherwise, life has to be about him. Always has been. And I don't think he's capable of thinking of other people. Or what other people might need. Or understanding what people are going through. So, I was not happy about that. I'm to the point right now because I am stressed, as you guys can all imagine, with everything going on in my life with my mom. And I am mentally exhausted. because I know my kids' shoe sizes. I know what size they wear. I know what they need, when they need it, all the appointments. I take care of all that. He knows nothing to do with our family or the kids. So I take care of all that plus my mom's stuff. And it is a full-time job. And I try to keep up with this house. But as of right now, I do try to keep myself busy with projects in my house. But that's only because I need to stay busy. I am to the point that I have no support in my house. And nobody to help me. The more I ask for help, the more they do stuff to basically say, F off. I'm not going to help you. Which is obviously, as we know, very vicious and mean. And just mean. And not understanding, not trying to be. So, I'm to the point that I am done. I'm tired of being treated like a maid. And I know a lot of people out there are going, well, that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm sure some of you have been raised that way, that people go to work and then you come home and do nothing. But the majority of nowadays, that's not how it works. You know, you drop your mood, you drop your job at the door, you take a shower, and then you go, okay, what needs to be done around the house? Or you give a honey to-do list that, you know, they're supposed to finish by the end of the week, right? You know, I'm tired. You want to talk about tired? I'm exhausted. And I think it's unfair. So, I think things, you know, it's not like I give 5 things on a list or 7 things. It's usually 1 thing, 2 things maybe. It's not hard to do. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening to my rant. Bye.